She-Hulk, and where did I leave off last time? Jen had just realised she'd royally screwed up by protecting Leapfrog and had probably done several $1 million of property damage by wrecking that car park to protect her kidnapper. So She-Hulk and Daredevil go to Leapfrog's not very secret lair, the lily pad. So Jen and Daredevil team up to rescue Urkel, and I'm not going to lie, this is the best the series gets. Daredevil wants to use stealth, She-Hulk wants to just smash in, so they argue. Daredevil goes in alone and starts taking out guards, and then She-Hulk smashes through the roof, and Daredevil is still fun. Some of the CGI isn't great, it lacks the visceral punch of the fight scenes from the Netflix series, and as a load of goons are going for Daredevil, She-Hulk comes through the roof, onto the goons, and those guys would be lucky to be alive. So, She-Hulk and Daredevil beat the goons, Leapfrog tries to escape by jumping through a window and breaks his legs, so it appears someone read the comics, which just makes all of this more baffling. How do you read the comics and then make something that's far worse in every way possible? So after they rescue him, Urkel the tailor forgives Jen, and then Matt and Jen bond and flirt some more. And then they go back to her place and make love. And it's okay for this series. Good rarely, but this is just not something that the Netflix Daredevil would have done. He's not an easy man to get close to. He knew Karen for a long time before he finally let her in. Daredevil just wasn't a man-tart. He wasn't slutty. This is just not Matt Murdock. The darkness is not there. Neither is his need for penance. In the morning, Charlie Cox is gone and geez, did he not leave a note or say goodbye either? Instead we get a scene of Matt Murdock doing the walk of shame in his Daredevil suit, and again, they're feminising a man for laughs. Men don't do the walk of shame after spending the night at a woman's house. We instead do the walk of pride. So She-Hulk goes to her award show. She's up on stage making her acceptance speech, and intelligentsia hack the electronics to humiliate her. They put up hacked stuff from her phone, a collection of photos of Captain America's bottom that they got from her phone, and a video Josh made of him and She-Hulk in bed together. She-Hulk loses it and destroys the building. Then she's arrested by some unknown men with guns outside. And Hollywood, can we please stop the gingercide? I have no idea how Hollywood misses some of the very obvious talent that's out there. You want someone to play a redhead, say Ariel the Little Mermaid? Well, you could call Karen Gillan, or there's an actress in the UK called Eleanor Tomlinson, who's very glamorous, attractive, she seems to be a quite able actor. She was wildly popular in a TV adaptation of Poldark with Aidan Turner, and speaking of that Hollywood, will you please notice that Aidan Turner exists and put him in some films? The ladies really seem to like Aidan Turner, and there's loads of talent in the UK and Ireland that barely gets a look in. And what's behind Hollywood's hatred of redheads? There seems to be a view that pale skin colour denotes some kind of privilege. In reality, Celtic peoples have been subjected to repeated historical attacks, including multiple genocides, for most of the last 2,000 years. The idea, for instance, that Irish people or Celtic people are historical oppressors is, I think, difficult to argue. But who am I kidding? They're just looking at their skin colour and making reflexive judgment, aren't they? And it makes me remember this interview with Jessica Alba, who said, they couldn't figure out my ethnicity. I would always go out for exotic. They were like, you're not Latin enough to play a Latina, and you're not Caucasian enough to play the leading lady, so you're going to be the exotic one, whatever that means. So yeah, we end up with gingercide because Hollywood still sounds massively racist. I honestly dread to think how casting decisions are made now in Hollywood, but from what's come out in recent years, in my head, I'm imagining something like this.
Shall we cast this extremely beautiful woman as the leading lady?
Well, can she act?
Never mind if she can act. Get me a photo of her and my Pantone colour chart, and I'll soon tell you if she's leading lady material.
And if her skin colour's right, she's in?
That depends.
On what?
On if she passes the couch test.
And the idea that these same people now have the temerity to come out and lecture the rest of the world on racism and sexism would frankly be laughable, but for the fact they seem to buy into their own propaganda, which makes it kind of sad. And Hollywood still tries to act like it's some sort of moral authority, instead of at least having the good taste and contrition to shut up for a while. And talking about having Jen from She-Hulk as a redhead, I would have been more on board with the series if Deborah Ann Voll from Daredevil was Jen in it. She did a pretty good job in Daredevil, and I haven't seen her in ages. She's got a pretty good range. She's, well, stunning, glamorous, charming. She can do innocent. She can also do dangerous and threatening. And boy can she do threatening. I wasn't a big fan of the series True Blood, but I liked her in it. Maybe a bit too much, and I didn't even mind the fangs. If she came scratching at my window in the middle of the night, I'd frankly be in trouble. I'd be inviting her in. I mean, I have lots of blood. I'm full of the stuff, and my house is full of jars of the stuff. Anyway, what was I talking about? Oh yes, She-Hulk, attorney at law. I'm just saying, I leave the lids off of the jars and everything, and Deborah Ann Voll still never turns up. What? So you're telling me that Deborah Ann Voll is not really a vampire? What? If she wasn't a vampire, then why would have all these open jars of blood on every surface to attract her? You frankly make no sense at all. Next question. Does Deborah Ann Voll make a better blonde or a redhead? Do I actually prefer her with or without the fangs? So many questions. Only one episode to go. Thank heavens. Let's see if they can stick the landing. And spoiler, they can't.
Could you make me a cup of tea, please, Stephanie?